everyone. So today is the start of my October studio vlog. Welcome. These are vlogs where I take you through my art practice. I make mixed media quilts, and so that involves sewing and some paint usually, and some of it is by hand, some of it is on machine, so you'll get to see all of that here. This is probably going to be a rarity for me over the next few months to be in this space. This is my community building that's part of the housing complex that I live in, and my neighbor actually rented out this space. She's also an artist, and so sometimes we work in it together, and she offered me the chance to work in here with her today, and I took it, and I'm, for the most part, though, going to be working in my home for the rest of the year. A couple of reasons for that, but mostly just because the amount of coordination it takes to book this room and work out weekends in my life where I can be here seems like it will be a bit overwhelming given the pace of the fall for me. So my plan is to actually do more work on weekdays out of my living room, which I set up for my studio for the day when I do those days. So that's going to be probably what you'll be seeing going forward for the rest of 2022. I've been working on the poetry project today, and I'm also working on my rivers project, which is adding lots of different layers of cording, ribbon, wool to the rivers to give them a texture that'll be that'll be three-dimensional. And so I'm going to be working on that for the next 2 hours, and then I'm going to head back home. When you're trying to balance out the time of being a mom and being an artist and having a job, an outside the home job, there's a lot of coordination in that. And I spent September working on a virtual artist residency with the Thrive Together Network, and part of my residency was to not do any admin and just work on the pieces, like making work. But now that I am back to my regular scheduled programming, I need to do some admin work. There's some updating on my website, not a lot, but a little bit. I have to prep for my social media posts. I need to submit to a show, and also later today I'll be submitting a proposal that a group of organizers will be using towards getting a grant for a festival. So that's kind of where I am around that. And you can't put off some of these things for too long, because then it just becomes too daunting of a task. So later this week I'll be submitting the proposal for the show. I'm not doing a lot of show proposals right now. This is a group show, but the theme is something that fits with a lot of the work I've been doing for the last 2 years, so I think it's a good show for me to apply to. In terms of applying to galleries for bigger shows, I'm not at this stage going to be doing that, because I just feel like I need to make more work and get more of a solid base under me with work before I start applying for more shows. So thank you for being here, and you'll get to see what I'm up to today. Today is October 19th, and my studio vlog last month, I really was trying to push home the importance of guarding your studio time and it being precious, and I stand behind all of those words, but I think I just wanted to contrast today how different this month has been for me, because my J job has been really, really busy, and my life has thrown some things at me. So our fridge broke, so we've been going for a couple days now without a fridge. We lost all the food that was in the fridge, and that has been stressful, and we're still trying to adjust to my husband's new schedule of sometimes working at his office, sometimes working from home. And so a lot of that has overwhelmed me this month, and so I haven't been making as much art as the end result of that. And I knew before October that I wasn't planning to like have set studio days this month, because I knew I don't know if I just had a feeling or what, but I knew that this month was going to be a challenge, and I didn't want to put the pressure on myself to try to like preserve that time. And so the result is that I know I don't have to make those studio days happen, but I feel very unanchored from my practice. So I think that maybe what I'm experimenting with here is having set the days in September and having been vigilant and very precious about those days, contrasting it with this month where I haven't set the days and therefore I haven't done much. I do sew in the evenings, and I do have like in the back of my mind some things. I did update my website the other day, so that was good. Just keeping things updated. In case you didn't know this, if you ever wanted to just watch my studio vlogs without like sorting through my YouTube channel, you could always go to the vlogs section of my website, and all of the studio vlogs are there. Yeah, so I just wanted to update you on that. There's not a lot going on. I have finished the next 2 pages, the top stitching on the next 2 pages for the poetry project. And so I believe I have 1 more page that I can work on. And so sometime this weekend, my plan is to set up my sewing machine and sew the next page. So I need to make the next page and the next panel. And so that will probably take me at least a whole day. I might need multiple days, but I won't get that this weekend. So I'm going to just pick one day. Either actually I do have Friday off, so I might do a bit on Friday, and then either Saturday or Sunday I will set it all up again and finish that page. At least the sewing of the page. I don't know if I'll get the writing on, but I'm gonna try, because this is the stage. It's easier for me to work on these pieces once I've got them to this stage where they're ready to do the hand stitching, because I can do the hand stitching in the evenings after work. And they don't take that long to hand stitch once I get them to this stage. The panel pieces of the quilt are not getting any stitching, any hand stitching. They're just going to be machine. And Carrie asked about the poems and if I will be sharing the whole poems that I'm using for this quilt. So I think I will. I haven't figured out yet how, so I'm still contemplating how the poems will be shown or shared in relation to the things they inspired. So whether I read each poem or whether, yeah, I haven't figured that out in my brain. It's in the back there spinning, and eventually I will figure out the way that I'd like to do it. I think if I wanted to compile them in a document, I would probably need to get permission, like from the publishers, to do that. So yeah, know if I've got the wherewithal at this point to do that. And I don't know where this project is going to move to next, so that'll be interesting too, depending on how Jen and I feel once we've gotten these pieces completed and once we have our show in May. I think we'll kind of reassess if we want to open this up into a larger project where we involve other artists, or if we want to just kind of ride it out, or if we want to continue the collaboration, or how that'll all evolve and change. So yeah, it's a really cool project in that way, because it's getting its own momentum, and I'm just going with the flow of it. I'm not trying to be too managerial around it in general. So I'm still working on the river as well, just adding one strand here or there. It's slow going, but it is what it is. And so that was all I wanted to do today, just update you on where I am as of October 19th, 2022. When I sew this weekend, I will put some footage in of that, and you will have seen my one studio day on October 1st, which I have to reiterate that I'm very, very grateful for that day, because I am so glad that I got a day in there before the chaos that has been the rest of this month ensued. So yeah, and if you're wondering what's on my hand, this is henna. The event that I ran at for my museum job was a Diwali family day, and we had a Mehndi artist who did this beautiful pattern on my hand. This will last for a few weeks. So yeah, I will check in again probably before the end of this studio vlog.